Put your hands on the hood. No, stop reaching your pockets. Stop.
Hi everyone, Donut here. Today we've got one of those incidents out of Los Angeles. Armed robbery, foot chase, and a suspect who thought that pulling a gun out during a struggle with officers was a great idea.
It doesn't work.
We got the body cam footage, a suspect with a ghost gun, internet detectives already rewriting the story, and as always, plenty of butt-puckering moments to break down. But first, a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN. There's a good chance your internet service provider can see everything that you do. That's right, everything. Not only that, they can legally sell your browsing history. Hell, whatever Wi-Fi you're going through can see what you're doing too. ExpressVPN encrypts and reroutes 100% of your network traffic through secure servers. That means that your ISP cannot log your activity, and whatever Wi-Fi you're going through, probably out in public all the time, can't see what you're doing. I fly all the time, which means I'm having to use public Wi-Fi all the time. I don't want anyone to see what I'm looking at, ever. One of the coolest features is that you can unblock content from all over the world that you may not be able to see in your home country, or certain things that you might want to look at if you don't live in the state of Texas. For instance, Netflix has a different library of TV and movies in each country. Same for Disney, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, or any geo-block services. Let's say I want to watch a movie not available in the United States, but it might be available in the UK. Boom, London, boom, connected. ExpressVPN is consistently faster than any other VPN provider, 24/7 customer support, trusted server technology, which means it's physically impossible for any of their servers to store any logs of customers. Connect 8 devices simultaneously, use ExpressVPN keys for a password manager, and much more. They protect you anywhere online. Check out expressvpn.com/donutoperator to see how you can get up to 4 months free, or you can just click the link in the description below. Trust me, you want to protect yourself online, especially when you're using public Wi-Fi. That's expressvpn.com/donutoperator. First up, I've got a story that proves some people can't be trusted with anything. That includes lawnmowers.
I didn't break the law. I just broke some rules of probably what my owners didn't want me to do. But I didn't break the law.
Yeah, about that. This absolute entrepreneur of bad decisions is allegedly a landscaper. Keyword allegedly, because apparently cutting someone's grass qualifies you to throw massive house parties in their mansion. Well, hell, I wish I knew that when I was a teenager. Oh wait, it's a grown-ass man. According to reports, this guy, who's been hired to mow the lawn at a $4.3 million house in Weddington, North Carolina, decided, you know what, forget landscaping.
I'm rich.
Police say that 300 to 400 strangers showed up at the house for a party. That's right, this dude packed nearly 1,000 people into a mansion that didn't belong to him. A $4.3 million mansion. This was not a small get-together. There was underage drinking involved, cars clogging the street, music blasting, but our landscaper casually smoking a blunt by the pool like he owns the place.
Brown says this was a graduation party for his son and his son's friends.
Just wanted to always, do something where we could create an income and bring a positive environment for his friends.
It was mostly teenagers and young adults. We estimate anywhere from 300 to 400 people were at the house. A lot of underage drinking going on.
Police, of course, were called to the scene, and when they showed up, the guy said, of course, this is my house, which shockingly fell apart under the tiniest bit of questioning. Turns out the actual owners of this badass house were on vacation. When their son found out what had happened, he summed it up beautifully. The distressed son said his parents' stunning home was left a hot mess and debunked Brown's sentiment that he has close ties with the family. Bro, you cut the grass. You're the hired help, so you were that for a reason, and that reason only.
Savage.
Buddy, you might have broken the law a little bit when a list of what you were charged with includes breaking and entering, trespassing, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and obtaining property under false pretenses. Police also found $3,000 in cash for a security fee at the front door. That's right, the dude was charging an entrance fee into someone else's house for his party.
Did you charge people to get in?
We did not charge, but we did charge because of security reasons.
He was actually was charging an entry fee. So we actually recovered and seized just a little over $3,000.
So he didn't charge, but he did charge, but he didn't? Anyways, the bad news for him, he had to post a $10,000 bond later that day. The good news, he's probably gonna lose more than just this client, considering his landscaping business is now famous for the wrong reasons. Before we get into today's main breakdown, we're gonna take a look at another shithole. That's right, New York City. Love you, Casey. Recently, the dude running for mayor dropped this little gem.
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys That is violence. That is violence of the highest degree.
Oh yes, violence. Totally imaginary, makes perfect sense. Seriously though, he says violence is an artificial construct. That's just fancy commie code for real violence. Getting robbed, stabbed, shot, that's complicated. But rent prices going up, that's violence. So that's why a woman got burned alive on the subway. It was all just in her head. Imaginary burning. She was exaggerating. She should have been worried about milk and rent prices. Basically, it's activist word games, redefining violence for whatever meets your agenda. Poverty, inequality, mean tweets. But when criminals actually hurt people, suddenly it's society's fault, not theirs. It's how you pretend to care about public safety without actually doing anything about it.
It's genius, it really is.
But if you thought that was the weirdest thing he said thus far, that's not even close. This guy, Zoran Mamdani, he's a self-described socialist and spent most of his career trashing cops and now suddenly claims he won't defund the NYPD, which is convenient because half the department has already said that they're leaving if he is elected, which I don't blame them because this guy says this kind of stuff. We don't need an investigation to know the NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and major threat to public safety. What we need to do is defund the NYPD. But your deal with the NYC mayor uses budget tricks to keep as many cops as possible on the beat. No to fake cuts, defund the police. But hey, there's no need for police when violence isn't real. What are you doing? Oh, say hi, Doug. Say hi, Doug. Go, Dad has crime. I'm not trying to get on my political soapbox with this guy. It's just crazy out there. Crime isn't the only thing this guy wants to redistribute. He's got a handy little property tax that boils down to tax white people more. I'm offended. He says the real problem, though, is people being mean to him online.
I get messages that say the only good Muslim is a dead Muslim. I get threats on my life, on the people that I love. And I try not to talk about it.
Look, no one deserves death threats. That's blatantly obvious. But maybe, just maybe, if you want to be mayor of New York City, don't defend violent slogans, attack the cops, and tell homeowners that you're coming for their wallets based on their skin color. Wild idea, I know. All right, whatever, let's get into some crime. Lancaster, California, June 7, 2025. At around 7:08 p.m., deputies from the Lancaster Sheriff's Department roll out to a call about an armed robbery. Pretty basic stuff. A guy gets held at gunpoint, gives 911 a pretty good description of the dude, and the dude takes off on foot. About 15 minutes later, deputies spot someone who definitely matches the description of the guy that they're looking for. Because apparently when you commit an armed robbery, you don't need to leave the neighborhood that you committed the armed robbery in. Criminal brain.
Put your hands on the hood. I could call her. No, stop reaching your pockets. We're not doing it. Stop. We're not doing Put your hands on the pocket. I can call her right now. Stop. Turn around. She's calling me right now. Come here. Vanessa, stop. Vanessa, the sheriff has the and I'm trying to tell him that I was already. Turn around.
Deputies roll up and try to detain him, but surprise, surprise, he's not exactly in the mood to be detained. He resists, fights them, and takes the whole fight to the ground.
No, talk to her, please, talk to her. I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not resisting. Stop, please.
At this point, we're already into some pretty dangerous territory. Armed robbery where the victim definitely saw a gun, and now they're wrestling with him on the ground. What you think is going to happen happens. They try to get him in cuffs, and he pulls out the gun. Right there on the ground, middle of the struggle. Uh-oh.
Please. He's on the arm. I'm not doing nothing wrong. He's on the arm. Please. You want to know for yourself? Don't. Stop. Stop reaching! Stop fucking reaching! Hey, 417! Hey, put your fucking hands, you're gonna get shot! 417! Taser!
One of the deputies immediately punches the suspect in the head, trying to get him to comply, and the deputy calls out 417 on the radio, which means suspect with a gun. It's around this time that we see one of the most infuriating parts of this whole incident. Two of the suspect's buddies show up to the scene. Both of them are right up in the deputies' faces. They're screaming at them, they're yelling, being generally useless pieces of shit. This forces one of the deputies to peel off of the fight and go try and handle this new situation, which if you've ever been in a real fight, especially as a police officer, splitting your attention makes this entire situation that much more dangerous. For the deputies, for themselves, for the general public, for everyone.
If you get any closer, you're going to be detained and arrested. Do you understand?
I'm going to call my uncle. He's a
So call him.
Yeah,
call him.
You want to know for yourself?
Hey, what the
you guys are
beating a code register for us.
And of course, one of them posts a nice little edited video online, conveniently leaving out the part where their buddy pulled a gun on a sheriff's deputy. It's so crazy how the most important parts get left out of these viral videos all the time. Seconds later, the armed suspect shoots one of the deputies in the lower abdomen. You know, that one guy that the bystanders wanted the cops to let go, the one who's trying to kill the cops.
Hey, me! Hey, put your fucking hands, you're gonna get shot! Help me! 417! Help me! Taser! Help me! Put your
And here we can see it pause at the exact frame that the dude is trying to kill the cops. And he wasn't done there. He rolls over and targets the other deputy. And fortunately, all 3 deputies returned fire.
Stay back.
Put your fucking hands, you're gonna get shot!
You're gonna get tased.
Help me! Taser! Help me! Put your fucking...
Get back. You guys good? You guys good?
Help me! 417! Help me! Taser! Help me! Put your...
They immediately start rendering aid to the suspect and themselves, because that's what actually happens. Despite their best efforts, the suspect was pronounced dead at the scene. Oh no. The gun was also recovered, which was destroyed by deputies' gunfire. Here is his 9mm unserialized ghost gun with a Smith & Wesson component attached to it. It was damaged by one of the deputies' rounds. Holy shit, they actually tried to shoot the gun out of his hand. I mean, not really, but hey, they ended the threat. Hooray. The deputy who was shot was rushed to the hospital and was unfortunately placed in critical but stable condition. Thankfully, no one else was hurt in the shootout. An investigation, of course, is underway. Sheriff's Department's reviewing everything, and the District Attorney's Office is doing their own independent review. And because it's 2025, people online were already stating that the suspect did not fire, despite body camera footage showing something completely different. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Outraged community activists said witnesses at the scene said that he never fired a weapon. You know, despite the deputy being rushed to the hospital in critical condition. He never got up to shoot anybody. He didn't even have the chance to. He was handcuffed, says Alana Sinabri, who identified the man as her fiance, Erica Barrios. Pretty amazing how fast facts can go out the window when people are just trying to farm some clout online.
I can't see you because I'm blind.
But hey, let me know what you think. Were the deputies justified? Did they handle it well? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, check out my stream on Kick and Twitch, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central. Go to donutoperator.com or subscribe to pepperbox.tv. See some uncensored content over there with a bunch of cool exclusive content from my friends. And as always, please have a fantastic day.